All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Week number 11, Sunday Night Football between, it's weird to say, but two of the hotter teams in the NFL right now. The Denver Broncos hosting the Minnesota Vikings. We have tons of picks coming your way in today's video. I got a few leans, got a few final plays, on the spread, the total, 3 player props, and then a same game parlay coming your way in today's video. So tons of content. But before we do jump into that, guys, come on, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. You guys have been absolutely crazy as of late, almost at 37,000 subscribers. Pumping some damn crowd noise. 37, almost at 40. What are we doing here? You guys are absolute psychos, but I love you for it. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's go ahead and jump into this game. Like I said, I have a lean on the spread, lean on the total, a final play in the player prop category, 2 leans on player props, and then a same game parlay that I've already locked in. Tons coming your way. And guys, just keep an eye on that pinned comment for all of these leans. That's where you'll know if I end up rolling with it and finalizing my bet, or I just stay away from it altogether. But anything that I talk about as a lean, I still do like and still do think there's value. It just comes down to whether or not I place that myself, and I want to give you guys that transparency. But let's talk about this game and this matchup here. Denver, 3 wins in a row. Very impressive, because 2 of those wins, Kansas City and then Buffalo. Say what you want about how Buffalo's been playing. Denver beat them, right? 24-22. Minnesota has 6 wins in a row, 5 wins in a row, and 6 of their last 7 games they've won, which is just absolutely crazy. Denver here on the season, these season-long record or numbers don't really paint the best picture because they've been playing good football, but 4-5 on the season, just 2-3 at home with a 3-5-1 against the spread record there. Minnesota looks pretty good, 6-4 record. They're 4-1 on the road, and then a 6-3-1 against the spread record. Right now, Denver sitting at 2.5 point favorites at home. The total sitting at 42.5. Like I said, I got leans on both of these sides, and I hate to do it because a lot of Denver fans jumped down my throat in the Monday Night Football video last week, but I like Minnesota in this spot. Now, I don't love 2.5. I'm actually going to consider buying another point, doing Alt-EV, getting an alternate line out there, and getting them at plus 3.5. You can get that for minus 130 over on BetMGM, which is good value comparing that to other sports books. And I do think that 3.5 to 2.5 line, there's such a wide gap of what can happen, even though it's just 1 point, but the field goal number's right in between there, right? So that, paying the minus 130 compared to the minus 110 of the normal line, I do think has some serious value. So that's the direction we're going to go from a spread perspective. And that is just because I do think that this is a Minnesota team that has a little bit more momentum behind them and has looked pretty damn sharp on both sides of the ball. Now, not to say I'm not fading Buffalo, I'm really backing Minnesota because I do think that this the Broncos, not Buffalo. I do think that this is a Broncos team that's gotten a lot better, but I think that this Minnesota team, there's something tangible about the way that they've been playing offensively and defensively. From an offensive rank perspective here, DVOA metrics, this is a team that's sitting just outside the top 10 as the 12th best DVOA ranked team, and then from a defensive rank here in the top 10 at number 8. Now, Denver, I know everyone's gonna be like, oh, Denver's defense isn't that bad, blah, blah, blah. It's because you're comparing it in the caveat of sort of like the low-hanging fruit. Well, they're actually pretty good if you take out that 70-point game against. First off, that's fair, but they did let up 70 points at one point this season. And second off, I don't think that using even the Buffalo game, we held Buffalo to 22 points. Buffalo hasn't been all that great, and Buffalo looked pretty bad in that game to begin with. So I'm just not totally sold on the Denver defense. And there were so many Broncos fans in the comments last video hating on me for saying I don't like this defense. I get that they get some guys back and all that, but I just am not sold yet. So in terms of who I trust more defensively, call me crazy, I still trust Minnesota that much more. And I'm not telling you it's by a wide margin, but that much more. And then in terms of offense, both these offenses have kind of been cooking, but Josh Dobbs has just been finding a way to do plenty through his couple games here, and he has loads of momentum behind him. So I trust Minnesota to keep this game close, if not win it outright. Plus 115 over on Bet365 right now on the money line. I think I saw plus 118 somewhere else. We might be conservative and just go with that plus 3.5, but give me Minnesota in this one. That is my first lean. Again, keep an eye on the pinned comment to see what we end up rolling with. But before Denver Broncos fans jump down my throat and start saying, oh, well, yeah, what are you saying? They're a better defense. Russ is cooking, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Guess what? One of my favorite leans in this entire game is over 42.5. I really like that spot. I've even considered buying up 2 more points to get some plus money. So keep an eye on the pinned comment to see what we roll with. But for all intents and purposes right now, we can talk about this 42.5 line. I think that this one gets near the 50s. There's no reason in my mind why either one of these teams can't score 20 points each in this spot. Like, I really don't think, I just kind of talked about how each defenses are good, and Minnesota I think is that much better. Like, I don't think that the offense of Denver is that far behind what that defense is in Minnesota, and I could easily see them going out there and scoring some points. So if I had my way in this spot, this would be like a 27 to I guess you could say 27 to 24 win for Minnesota, or flip it. Go ahead, Broncos fans. You guys can have your 27 to 24 win. We'll take the over and that plus 3.5, right? So we can all be friends and all win together here. But I really do like the over in this spot. In terms of what we're looking at for injuries, I do think that is why we're staying with some leans here. Hawkinson, Dobbs, Madison, all questionable in this spot. They might even get Justin Jefferson here as well. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on. Not that, if he doesn't play, it changes my mind or anything like that. I still do like this. But all those other guys that have been playing, keep an eye on the injury report, because Jerry Jeudy on the Broncos side of things also questionable in this spot. But guys, those are my 2 leans. Again, plus 3.5 on the Minnesota side of things, and then the over 42.5. I do have 1 player prop that I am locking in, as well as 2 that I'm leaning, and then I have a same game parlay that I've already locked in for plus money. So let's go ahead and get into the player prop talk. Before we do, speaking of player props, if you guys haven't checked out Sleeper yet, it's my favorite player prop pick'em app. Go check it out. For new users, they're offering a Josh Dobbs passing yards line of 0.5. If I think the over is going to hit and Minnesota's going to cover 3.5, don't you think I think that Josh Dobbs is going to throw for 1 yard? So a new user can get this promo square. It's pretty much a free square, right? As well as 100% of your first deposit match. Go ahead and check out Sleeper, guys. If it's legal in your state, you are missing out if you're not using it. 100% of your first deposit match. You could throw in like $50. They're going to say, hey, here's 50 more. You'll have a new account balance of 100. It's an absolute no-brainer if you ask me. Go check out Sleeper. Link in the pinned comment for that. But let's go ahead and jump into player prop number 1. Again, this is already a final play, so this will be down in the pinned comment as a final play. But I'm looking at Russell Wilson over 27.5, not pass completions, but pass attempts. He's hit this in 78% of games this season, 7 of 9. He hit it last game. And what I like to look at here is if you look at this spot, this is quarterback logs against Vikings. Last week, you see Winston and Carr combined for way over 27.5. Before that, you have Taylor Heineke. He throws for 38. Before that, Jordan Love throws for 41. Brock Purdy for 30. You kind of get a little dicier. The only time a game in which this hasn't seemed to cash this year is the Bears, in which Bajan and Fields only combined for 24, which was kind of right around there anyways. I love this spot for Russell Wilson. This could be a game in which, Russell Wilson and the Broncos are leading, and yet they'll still come out there and look pretty good in terms of dumping it off and taking what they have. Payrine as well as Williams out of the backfield. Like, this doesn't need to be a big shot type of a play for Wilson. We know him as that big shot quarterback and taking shots down the field, but we could easily see him have some easy ones and take what the defense gives him in this spot. So give me Russell Wilson over 27.5 passing attempts. I'm not going to lie. I know that if you look at his completion numbers, they're a little bit lower, right? Like, he's sitting right around that 20.5 mark. But when I saw 27.5 for this game, my gut reaction was, is this the completion line? And it was the attempts line. Now, I know that's kind of crazy, but, I just think you correlate Russell Wilson with that arm. But nonetheless, guys, that is going to be the first pick. In terms of odds, you're getting the best over at DraftKings right now, -115. Caesars close behind, but yes, behind at -121. If you guys are interested in the app that I'm using right now, you can use it on your phone, your desktop, tablet, anything. It's called Outlier. It's right here in the top left of the screen. Check it out, guys. 7 days free with the link in the pinned comment. So now we'll get into 2 of our leans, right? Our 2 player prop leans. So we'll start it off with Jerry Jeudy, and I might as well talk about these, at the same time. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton over in their receptions. Jerry Jeudy 3.5, and Cortland is 4.5 here. Jerry Jeudy's going to be minus 135. Cortland is plus 110. I hate to keep going back and forth, but I kind of want to show you guys what we're cooking up here. The reason being is this is a Minnesota defense that's allowing the third most receptions to opposing wide receivers. And we're already locking in Russell Wilson's over in completions, right? Look at what Sutton and Jeudy combined for. The light green and the light blue here are their target share. Like, these are the only two wide receivers that Russell Wilson's going to look at. Now, P. Ryan's right there behind, but again, 24% for Sutton, 18% of targets for Jerry Jeudy, and then it gets to the running back. There's not even a wide receiver until you get to Marvin Mims, who's only seen 15 all season. Now, albeit with injuries and whatnot, that doesn't necessarily matter, but nonetheless, these are sort of correlated plays in a spot against, where I really think that Russell Wilson's going to throw the ball a lot and complete a lot, and then you have who's he going to throw to? These two guys. So Jeudy seems a little bit safer, minus 135, whereas Sutton, you're getting plus 110 odds over on DraftKings, but I really do like that spot for both of them. Guys, again, that is Outlier. That's what I use for all my player props in terms of research. Whatnot. It is a goated tool. I'm not just blowing smoke up your arse. All right, go check out Outlier. You get it for 7 days free. Link in the pinned comment. Now, let's talk about the same game parlay, because we already gave you a spread lean, we gave you a total lean, we give you a locked-in player prop, and then 2 player prop leans. This is a same game parlay that I am loving, and I've already locked it in. We're gonna have plus 105 odds, so we're lowering the total by a lot here. We only need the total to get to 35 points, so over 34.5, and then we have the 2 receivers we talked about. Sutton, 25 plus receiving yards, and Jerry Jeudy, 25 plus receiving yards. I already explained why I think you can pass on this Minnesota defense. We've seen tons of teams have plenty of receptions and plenty of yards against them as of late, and we know Russell Wilson, if all trends continue, I should say, he will be throwing the ball a lot. There's no reason why both these guys cannot each grab 25 yards, and for plus 105, I don't think we're beating that value. So that is our second locked in play, but our 5th play overall in the video, and that is all we have for you guys in today's video. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you're still watching, comment 11 and let me know who you think the first touchdown scorer is going to be in this game. So 11-Hawkinson or something like that, right? Let me know in the comments, and I appreciate the hell out of all the support you guys have shown as of late on the Fade Me store. For all the sponsors, by the way, fademe.store, pick up some great merch. Got the Christmas collection coming out, or holiday collection. But yeah, guys, you guys have been absolutely killing it, life-changing. So appreciate the hell out of you guys. But we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.